Alright, let's dive into something that's been making headlines and honestly, has me thinking about the bigger picture. So, the US just bombed military sites on Kharg Island, a key player in Iran's oil network. But here's the thing, this isn't just about a few explosions on an island. It's about a high-stakes game of geopolitical chess, and I'm here to break it down for you. First off, Kharg Island isn't just any island. It's the lifeline of Iran's oil exports. Personally, I think what makes this really interesting is how the US chose to strike military targets while leaving the oil infrastructure untouched, for now. Trump's warning that the oil facilities could be next if Iran keeps messing with the Strait of Hormuz is a huge red flag. It's like he's saying, we're not done yet, and we're watching. But here's the kicker, Iran's already threatened to retaliate if their oil infrastructure is hit. So, we're basically sitting on a powder keg, and everyone's got their fingers crossed hoping it doesn't blow. Now, let's talk about the Strait of Hormuz. This tiny stretch of water is a massive deal because about a fifth of the world's traded oil passes through it. If you take a step back and think about it, this isn't just about Iran and the US, it's about global energy security. What many people don't realize is that closing the strait could send oil prices through the roof, affecting economies worldwide. So, when Iran effectively shuts it down, it's not just a regional issue, it's a global one. And the US sending 2,500 more Marines and an amphibious assault ship to the region. That's a clear signal they're not backing down. But here's the question, are we looking at a potential ground operation, or is this just a show of force? From my perspective, it's probably the latter, but you never know. What's also fascinating is how this conflict is spilling over into other areas. The humanitarian crisis in Lebanon, with nearly 800 people killed and 850,000 displaced, is heartbreaking. Israel's strikes against Hezbollah are intensifying, and there's no end in sight. This raises a deeper question, how much collateral damage are we willing to accept in this escalating conflict? It's not just about military targets anymore, it's about people's lives being upended. Another detail I find fascinating is the US Embassy in Baghdad getting hit by a missile. This isn't the first time, but it's a reminder of how volatile the situation is. Iran-aligned militias are clearly sending a message, and the US is responding by beefing up security. But what this really suggests is that the conflict isn't contained, it's spreading, and it's getting messier by the day. Now, let's zoom out for a second. The US claims to have struck over 15,000 targets in Iran since the war began. That's over 1,000 targets a day. In my opinion, that's a staggering number, and it shows just how intense this conflict has become. But here's the thing, Iran isn't backing down. They've threatened to hit US-linked oil and energy facilities across the region if their own infrastructure is targeted. So, we're in this cycle of threats and counter-threats, and it's hard to see a way out. Personally, I think the most alarming part of all this is how quickly things can escalate. One wrong move, one misinterpreted action, and we could be looking at a full-blown regional war. And let's not forget the global implications. If the Strait of Hormuz stays closed, or if oil infrastructure gets hit, we're talking about economic fallout that could affect everyone. So, while this might seem like a distant conflict, it's actually something that could impact all of us. As I wrap this up, I'm left with a big question, where does this end? Are we looking at a prolonged conflict with no clear resolution, or is there a diplomatic solution on the horizon? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, in situations like these, it's not just about the headlines, it's about understanding the deeper currents that are shaping our world. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more insights like this.